Hui Qi. I'm like a regional marketing manager for Amazon Ads, and I take care of mainly the RSEA markets, like Southeast Asia markets. But like just let me know if you have any questions when it comes to Amazon Ads. So I think last month we covered a bit on like preparing video creatives or any kind of creative assets leading up towards Black Friday, Cyber Monday, right? So I think for this session, what we will focus on is something new. So essentially, actually, if some of the newer sellers don't know, there were two big Amazon Ads events that happened like in the past few months. So number one is Unbox Austin, and the other one is called Unbox Shenzhen. So they're usually again live streamed online across different channels every single year. It's past now, but I know maybe some of our sellers were not aware of it, or you've never heard of Unboxed. It's basically a conference where Amazon Ads announced some of the latest features that will come to Amazon Ads in the months to come. So today I'm going to give you a bit of a preview in terms of what you can expect from Amazon Ads, in the next few months. Different new features are coming. Some have already launched. Some are still coming up. May not have launched, especially if you don't see it in your ads console, because essentially they just launch it in beta phase in the US first. So I will take some of the highlights of Unboxed across this event and share it with you guys so that nobody is missing out on what are some of the new features, right? And yesterday, I'm not sure if any of the sellers were there, but in Singapore, we had a really interesting event called Seller Southern Fest, right? And over there, I also did a short sharing in terms of the highlights, basically what are some of the highlights of Unbox as well. So it contains all the same content, and I'm bringing it to you guys. So let's get started. Basically, there are a few key innovative new features that are coming to Amazon Ads. It's very exciting. And basically, I wanted to kind of showcase to the sellers what are some of the priorities, right? What do you think Amazon Ads will be focusing on in the next year and the years to come? And if today you want to take away two key items, number one is creative, and number two is generative AI, right? Gen AI, which is like the hottest keyword for the year, I would say. So firstly, like I will touch on creative, right? Like what do you mean by creative? So it means that essentially what some of the key focus the Amazon Ads will really try to focus on next year is helping our advertisers improve like your creative making capability, helping you build your brand and having a unique brand identity, right? So I get a lot of sellers in Singapore, like very concerned about e-course, and like a lot of our webinars focus on like optimizing sponsored products, which is very, very important. It's still going to be a big part of your advertising spend. But I will also challenge our advertisers to think about how you can set yourself apart from your competitors, right? For example, if I'm selling a ceramic cup, how am I going to build a unique positioning in the world in the category of ceramic cups, for example, right? I think one key biggest way is to tell your brand story, and it's to win versus your competitors in terms of your creatives, because honestly, ceramic cups, so many. How do you actually differentiate yourself? So I think that's the challenge. I think also noting the fact like many of our maybe Singaporean sellers, we don't have much manufacturing capabilities in Singapore, so oftentimes we source our products from overseas, right? So what if we're sourcing similar products? How can we actually stand apart? How can we set a higher price point or premiumize ourselves? I think one big way is via your creative, via your brand positioning, your brand storytelling, right? And I think this is the direction that Amazon Ads is going to help you in the coming months to come. So if you haven't in your ads console, right, we actually haven't touched much on creative assets or creative library. So if you log into your ads console, I want to challenge our advertisers today to click inside your ads console to see what are some of the creatives you have uploaded, right? It doesn't have to even be ads. It can be sponsored brand static images. It can be your posts. It can be your images on your stores. I want to challenge our advertisers to really increase the level of creativity. Or if you haven't even posted anything creative on your store or on post, you can try it. Especially for posts, it's totally free. And for advertisers that are a bit more advanced, if you haven't tried sponsored brands, for example, product collections, sponsored brand video, there are many use cases which I will share later. But just want to encourage our sellers to take a look at your creative library, right? So essentially, creative library is where you store your selected Amazon ads creatives. Essentially how you can again, right, get more people to pay attention to the product. If, for example, I want to sell a ceramic cup starting from today, how can I actually grab the most attention, grab traffic, right? Like, what are some of the opening sources of traffic? Is it only ads? It can also come from the post feed. It can also come from the search results page. It can come from video targeting as well, product targeting. So essentially, you want to expand your creatives. And I will also challenge sellers, right? Instead of, okay, I'm going to launch a ceramic cup, I'm only going to develop maybe 5 creative assets. Why not create more? You can A/B test, right? Like if I'm selling a ceramic cup, should I use a lady drinking the ceramic cup? Should I just put it against a kitchen counter? Or which creative or which images is going to be more effective in terms of capturing people's attention? I think it's a good way for us to A/B test. You can upload on post, free of charge testing to see maybe which gets more likes, which get more clicks. And then basically, if you want, you can plug and play the same creative or the better performing image into your sponsored brands. So if you haven't checked out already, I want you guys to check out creative assets, right? It's very important to basically all the different kind of sponsored ad products, non-ad products like stores, posts, right? Even generative AI. So you will see that when you log into Creative Library, you can actually launch a generative AI created image as well. It touches on both Shutterstock as well as as a source image. Number 2, now Amazon Ads also has a very new exciting feature, is that we're integrated with Canva, which is a platform for us to create more creative images, right? And it houses a huge library of like beautiful visuals, templates that you can easily launch your creative as well. So again, once we start moving away from just launching a hero image for our sponsored products, how to increase your conversion, right? Having very good A+ content, having posts, having sponsored brands content, etc. These are all creative images that we need to optimize continuously over time, and that's the best way to stand out from our competition. So let's take a look, right? Essentially, your creative assets is going to essentially be connected to all these different companies, third-party companies, where, if you don't want to pay money to really shoot your creatives, you can choose like all the different images that are available, either on our creative assets via Shutterstock, or now we're actually integrated with Canva as well. So if you haven't actually explored Canva, you can click and play around today. So that's the next thing that I'm going to focus and kind of essentially feature to you later. So how to essentially like access your creative assets, right? You log into Amazon Ads, and then essentially we go to the creative tool section. Basically, it's the image icon, and then you will see creative tools, and then there's creative assets, image generator, translations, and video builder. So you can either generate a free image, or you can just go into creative assets and start finding, upload, search, or select within your own assets, Shutterstock images, or even your own images as well. Yeah. So sorry, and then next we move on to Amazon Ads on Canva. So this is actually super new innovation announced just in the last month, right? Currently, apart from just having or selecting Shutterstock images, now you can actually find an Amazon Ads app on Canva. I will drop the link into the comment section later. But essentially, you can design, check, and publish your content to Amazon Ads, right? So how does it look like? So essentially, you will want to go to canva.com. It's available on desktop, or you can even download an app. But basically, there is going to be a part where it's an Amazon Ads creatives, and there are already pre-built templates, right? Pre-built template for videos, pre-built templates for images, for sponsored display, in-class content, blah, blah, blah. And there are also pre-built templates. For example, now it's holiday season or going to be holiday season, or it's going to be Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Like you're like thinking, how do I make my assets more creative? Maybe I'm selling ceramic cup, and ceramic cup is like a great gifting product, right, to give to your friends and family. So I want to make it very clear that it's for gifting, it's perfect for gifting to our customers. So rather than, like shooting it yourself, like go and buy a Christmas tree decoration to shoot your own picture, you can actually leverage the free templates on Canva and essentially quickly deploy all these creative images via the templates that we have. Sorry. Yeah. So you can select a design template on Canva, connect it to your Amazon Ads account as well, and then it automatically uploads onto your creative assets on your ads console. Yeah. Sorry. Yes. So apologies. A bit unwell. Yes. So essentially, we're integrating Canva into our Amazon Ads workflow as well, right? And I highly encourage sellers to try it if you haven't. So essentially, I think I met a seller in Singapore, and I encouraged the seller, right? He had a lot of beautiful videos and images of his product on his own social media channel. But when he tried uploading some of the videos to try and launch a sponsored brand ad, it turns out that his ad kept getting rejected, right? Because when you try to launch a sponsored brand video, it kind of goes through a kind of a submission and a checking process. And then sometimes you will see that you cannot launch because there are policy violations. For example, you cannot, for example, talk about your the world's #1 or better than a competitor, or it has to be a certain resolution, certain dimension size, right? And then rather than troubleshooting it, and sometimes it can be a bit unclear. I think this is a good workaround in terms of trying to essentially plug and play like approved templates. You just have to upload like some of the creative images, but they will fit into the approved template, right? In terms of the sizing, the dimensions, the duration, etc. So very easy editing tool for you. So there are many different templates to kickstart your design in Canva, right? It has sponsored brand video, online video, as well as product image. So if you haven't, I highly encourage our sellers to try this feature. It's in beta, right? So you'll want to sign into beta, into Canva. And also don't worry, this entire webinar will be uploaded onto our YouTube for playback. But essentially, you can sign into Canva, select your template, and then connect it to your Amazon Ads account. And then you will want to essentially select your advertiser profile and then start designing. So subsequently, this is still in beta phase, right? It's a new feature. I would encourage our sellers to play around and test some of the creatives that are being created, or the templates that like Amazon Ads has like made available for you on Canva. And the good thing about Canva is that it's not just only templates for Amazon Ads, right? You have the ability to put in other beautiful like accents, beautiful kind of like you want sparkles, for example, you want sparkles in the video, and you have no idea how to add, for example, a sparkle into the video. Actually, for example, Canva, you can just plug and play and insert, animations, insert designs, and you can take inspiration from a whole source of other free templates that are available on Canva as well. So if there are any questions, just drop them in the chat. And then otherwise, I'll touch on some of the newer video kind of announcements as well, right? So a bit of, a kind of a background as to why Amazon cares so much about video is simply because that's just how people are spending their time now, right? They're watching videos on TikTok, they're spending their time watching videos on YouTube. And especially in like the US marketplace, they are very exposed to a lot of different video channels. And if you want your product to get attention and to sell, you have to be where customers are at. And this is why I feel like it's very important for our sellers to also start thinking about how to level up in terms of, you know, not just your images, but then how can you tell your brand story on video? And even if you don't want to tell your brand story on video, how can you showcase your product better? You know, for example, even if you're just selling coloring pencils, right? I think video will tell a much faster job of, you know, how great your pencils are, the coloring capabilities, you know, the different colors that you have. You know, you're trying to accomplish a lot of things in one video, and I think perfectly, people also want to consume the video, right? They're interested in the video. They want to see the demo of the product that they're buying. So again, you know, have you guys created a video? Even if you don't want to run an ad, you can upload the video onto your brand store. You can upload it as premium in-class content as well. So essentially, like we have to kind of stay ahead of our competition, create some videos, and Amazon is trying to help you with that. So definitely, you know, we have a very, very big range of services, right? So definitely, one big innovation that we have, you know, again, launched for some of our more mature advertisers is that now you can also launch sponsored TV, right? TV ads directly from your ads console. There is actually no minimum spend essentially for advertisers, but of course, I would encourage our sellers to, you know, take a step-by-step approach when it comes to TV advertising, but it's definitely available even on a self-service basis. Number two, then of course, you know, if people are concerned, right, oh my God, how much budget should I set for a sponsored TV ads? You can definitely start with just sponsored display video as well as sponsored brands video first. To raise awareness and to drive consideration for essentially your products on Amazon, right? But again, as I mentioned, you know, how do you set aside your brand? How do you tell people that your brand is like the latest, hottest, most in tune with the latest culture kind of a product? I think video is going to be the next kind of spot that we should essentially focus on as sellers, right? And we encourage sellers to mix and match video solutions, right? So if you run a sponsored brand video, you would know that sponsored brand video, for example, is actually quite focused on top to middle of search, right? It comes up at around the third to fourth row if you're using a desktop. And, you know, again, it's very geared towards around the top search results page, at least on the first page, right? For sponsored display video, then again, is something quite new. Of course, it's been launched for a while. I would say it launched, I think, late last year. But essentially, again, you know, it's just driving people and capturing more attention across like top sites across Amazon, right? It even appears off Amazon as well. It can appear in Pinterest. It can appear in BuzzFeed articles, as well as, for example, the home like page of Amazon, as well as essentially product pages, right? So for sponsored brands video, I would say it's like a great tool for you to capture top of search results traffic, right? And I think it's the best tool, I would say, to drive consideration. So the person might be already considering buying, for example, right, a ceramic cup or, you know, a coloring pencil set as a gift, right? How do you demonstrate that you are better versus the rest of your competitors? Then I think a video would tell a great job. It's very interactive when they are scrolling on the app or even on desktop. So that's where we can insert ourselves and capture people's attention. Sponsored display video, I would say, can be very tactical. You can target custom audiences, right? For example, if I'm selling color pencils, I could be targeting moms, right? Moms with kids or young moms with kids. I can target school teachers, for example, right? So you can pre-build audiences on sponsored display and try to target different profiles of people that could, for example, want to buy a coloring pencil. So that's the application. And again, you know, video is again trying to deliver your message at the same time to them. So of course, as I mentioned, you know, we have sponsored TV for slightly more mature advertisers. You know, I think this is the biggest, most exciting announcement, right? You're tapping into audiences that are spending their time watching Prime Video, which is huge in the US. And essentially, how exciting is that, right? For example, if you're already a market leader within your category in Amazon, how do you then get new to brand audiences? How do you reinforce that you are number one? or you are the brand to go to for that category, right? For example, just as an example, like I'm selling color pencils, I'm already ranking at the top, right? I'm getting good sales, but how do you get even bigger sales? How do you encourage people to repurchase? How do you become the category leader? I would say then sponsored TV would be the right solutions for mature advertisers, for you to grow your total audience of shoppers, right? And to really like drive awareness of your products. So it gives you access to many different channels, not just Prime Video, also gives you channel to, for example, Freevee, Twitch, Amazon Publisher Direct. So essentially, sponsored TV is one solution for some of our more mature advertisers. And especially we announced a new launch for sponsored TV, right? So one big concern for many mature advertisers is this is very upper funnel driven. It's very, very driving awareness, right? Is how do you then correlate it to sales, right? So essentially, we actually launched, interactive video ads as well. So over here, you will see, right, one of the major announcements coming out of Unbox Austin as well as Unbox Shenzhen is that now on sponsored TV, not only are people just watching, like maybe a 15-second ad before like their Prime Video, kind of TV series, you can actually enable people to add to cart even by clicking on their TV remote. You can insert a QR code, and you can even opt to send text messages, push messages, right? So for example, if they see this ad, you can actually even force, a push message onto someone's phone, where essentially they were checking out this product, and then they can actually quickly click on the link and even add it to cart. So this was one of the more interesting, I would say, product features that is just recently announced. Yeah. So you will see that, I'm watching the TV, but then, hey, like I actually see a pop-up, right? Click a button on your TV remote, and you can add it to cart. You can even enable, for example, push phone messages, etc. So very interactive. And then subsequently, the next innovation is then like it's all integrated, right? It's almost like a circle or like a vacuum of different products like working together to drive the message that, hey, I'm selling this thing on Amazon. So once someone sees it on TV, then Amazon registers it as a custom audience that has been targeted on TV. So when people start actually browsing on the Amazon app or Amazon desktop on Amazon.com, you as the advertiser can even choose a custom audience on sponsored display video. Again, right, it's remarketing, it's reminding people, hey, you saw this product on TV, now you're also seeing it on Amazon.com. So that's how you continuously drive people to remember your brand, remember to buy, remember to consider your product. So that's essentially how we integrate our sponsored TV as well as our sponsored display video together, right? So essentially, you're just making it very actionable for your different sellers. So you can see, we have add to cart, we will have QR code. So maybe I'll showcase the QR code again. The ad comes up and someone can scan the QR code with their mobile phone and then basically redirects them to the Amazon app as well. Yes, and of course, as I mentioned, sponsored display video again. Even if you don't launch TV, you can launch sponsored display video very easily on your ads console, and where some of your ads could even appear, right? Not just on Amazon.com, you can appear on IMDb, you can appear on third-party exchanges, for example, Pinterest, BuzzFeed, etc. Right, and this is kind of how it's going to look like, essentially, for you to again remarket to people or even find new audiences for your product. So that's for sponsored display, right? And again, how it links back to our earlier kind of introduction of Canva, of creative assets, right? You really need to optimize your ads so you can A/B test, what kind of videos, what kind of images work best for you, right? So all tied together. Yes. So that's just a seller case. I'll quickly jump. So how do you actually then create a really good video, right? So these are some of the basically, top tips that we have for our sellers. So I would say number one, ironically for our, kind of results from some of our internal research is that products that appear in like the setting that they're going to be used for example, you know, like a ceramic cup, then where will I actually start using the ceramic cup, right? Is it like you know, during winter time when I'm trying to cozy up, like on the sofa? Is it like, you know, pouring a cup of coffee in the kitchen? But you will want to showcase your product in a typical setting, basically to encourage people to visualize themselves buying it. Number two is to use voiceover or dialogue. I would say the asterisk to this is, I think sellers, when you do video, you should optimize for both sound on as well as sound off, right? So it's good to also have a voiceover, especially if someone, you know, they're browsing and shopping at home, right? So if, for example, they have enabled audio, then at least it's going to capture their attention on an even like deeper level. But for example, of course, people could be browsing your product at other times of the day, right? So that's why I meant, but you want to optimize for both sound on and sound off. So you can have voiceover, but I'll also encourage sellers to definitely, you know, put subtitles or make sure that your key selling points are very clear as text appearing on screen as well. Number three, I would say, I'm not sure, you know, how many sellers are, haven't seen this statistic yet, right? But I would say even as, you know, a older millennial, right, my attention span has gotten so short, right, with the consumption of, for example, short form content, reels, shorts, etc., right? So it's very, very important for you to introduce and show your product and your logo within the first 5 seconds, ideally within the first 3 seconds. So that's the most important, because people are going to be scrolling really, really fast. So you want to land your product straight away when you create a video. You don't have to make a super, super long video, right? I think the first 5 seconds is where you need to pay the most attention. And then the last point is, as I said, you will want to put text. But of course, you don't want to put a whole essay because nobody is going to read, right? So you want to put very punchy, strong text that just calls out. For example, if my ceramic glass, maybe it's dishwasher friendly, right? Maybe it's artisanal, maybe it's handmade, or you know, it's a certain material that is easy to wash. Then I want to put all these key points very clearly in a very short and succinct way to capture people's attention. So this is the best practices for our video creative, right? And then, as I mentioned, you know, Amazon allows you to put, I think if I'm not wrong, between a 5 to 30-second video for a sponsored brand video. But I would say you will want to prioritize shorter form rather than, you know, maximizing with a 45 seconds. I would say, you know, you will want to prioritize something shorter, 15 to 30 seconds at the longest. And as I said, the first 5 seconds are the most important. Emphasize your product feature, right? Encourage sellers to, you know, find principles of good storytelling. So in Seller Southern Fest, we had a great session from, you know, some of the top seller influencers called Kevin King. You know, he's the king of like Amazon hacks, right? So he gave a really good kind of a keynote in terms of how to, you know, do good storytelling. How do you like land your message in a really engaging way? Encourage our sellers to do some research on that. And last but not least, of course, right, I encourage our sellers to really bring your brand personality to life. I think it's the most important point. Initially, when you really invest in sponsored products, of course, your goal is to, you know, start appearing organic ranking really high on the search results page. You know, you will want to be capturing sales. But I think beyond a certain point, our sellers also have to start differentiating yourself versus your competitors. That's why I encourage our sellers to think about how is your branding unique. And I would say the easiest, fastest way to do that is via a really beautiful, really strong, really interesting video creative or an image creative for you to test and try first. Yeah. So for a lot of our sellers, I think many sellers are hesitant to try sponsored brands video because the thing that I hear is essentially, oh, it's very expensive, right? And it costs went up really high. I'm not sure whether it drove conversion. But it depends on your goal, right? So for most of our sellers, I know, like, you know, the overall goal is still conversion, right? You want to drive sales, you want to drive orders. That is, I would say, very, 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 very important. And FP will be the tool to partner with your sponsored brands. But for example, if, for example, you just want to drive people, again, you know, like more newer sellers, right? You want to drive your brand awareness. Your goal might be more towards reach and awareness, right? So the KPI changes. The KPI, rather than tracking hardcore on sales, you might want to consider like, how many impressions have I gotten? Is my impressions increasing? Some of the sellers that I've spoken to, for example, maybe you spend like a bit already, but you just notice that impression just stays, at a certain number, right? 8 million, a few million. How do you increase that? Because it's a funnel, right? The more people you reach, the more new to brand sales that you're gonna get. Number two, right? If you've already started investing in off-Amazon marketing, right? You've already started investing in influencers in terms of, social media marketing, right? Then how do you start tracking that someone is starting to recognize your brand? How many people are starting to recognize Hui Qi ceramic cups, for example? Then the KPI you should start tracking is branded searches, right? And then again, you complement it. So you run an influencer ad off Amazon. What if you run a video ad on Amazon.com again, to capture people's attention, and you bid on keywords, for example, Hui Qi ceramic cups, right? So it goes hand in hand together. And that's where you start tracking, for example, branded searches and whether it's increasing week on week. Last but not least, okay, maybe I've already talked about my branding enough, right? Maybe my ceramic cup is created by, small artisans in a part of, the world. Then how do I showcase my product effectiveness? Maybe my ceramic cup is very durable. Maybe my ceramic cup is suitable for dishwasher, right? Essentially, you can create another different video on your A+ content, on your post, in your store, even as a sponsored brand video, showcasing, your cup being very durable, your cup being dishwasher friendly. Then again, then how do you track the effectiveness of a different kind of a video ad? Then you want to pay attention to detail page views, right? Maybe someone searched for Hui Qi ceramic cup, and then how do I know that they're caring more, they're thinking of really buying it? Then I can track the detail page views, the view through rate of my video ad as a consideration metrics. And then of course, last but not least, you target sponsored products, right? And essentially try to drive conversion. So pay attention to the metrics and your goal for advertising as well, right? And I would say that's like, all I'm going to say on the importance of video ads. I really hope sellers can start differentiating their brand, create an iconic, brand for yourself and differentiate from your competitors. But of course, I acknowledge a lot of sellers are new. You are concerned, like, how do I start creating creative assets? So the next big announcement that came out of sponsored ads product coming out of Unbox, it's definitely with regards to generative AI, right? It's the keyword, it's the buzzword of the world, I would say, this year, right? Adoption of AI is really increasing a lot. I think most of our sellers that we've spoken to have at least tried writing their listing via, AI, optimizing your listing via AI. And I think video creatives is also the same, right? I think many sellers are leveraging the use of basically, creative advertising. And I would say it comes from a very real problem, right? Almost 75% of the advertisers Amazon surveyed didn't launch any kind of video ad because they didn't know how to create videos or custom images, beautiful visuals, in a really fast way. So I would say, if you haven't, you can try our AI generation kind of image. So definitely, this was launched in October 2023 last year, right? Our very first image generator on the ads console. I would say it has come a long way. When it first started, last year, there were quite a lot of issues, with the depth, with the essentially kind of some of the visuals that were created. But it's something that is continuously improving as more and more people use it, right? So in the year that has passed, I would say the capabilities have improved, and essentially we have already started even improving some of the services from the image generator, right? So now you can even adjust your product size and positioning in the AI image that's generated. Essentially, we are also, again, as I said, right, available on Ads Console, available on sponsored brands, available in sponsored display, posts, as well as stores. So you can use it across all these channels, right? And then you can create different products, different placements, and you can A/B test all of them across different settings for your product as well, right? And the big announcement that we launched is that with one click of a button that is coming up, is that you cannot just do static images, right? You can actually just do a live image, something that is even more engaging than just something like a plain creative image. And it can be enabled in just one click of a button when it finally launches. Yeah. So you can log into your ads console and create a campaign. And it's available across sponsored brands, sponsored display, under images. So you just want to select the product, and then you can click on image, and then of course, generate an AI image generated image. And then now you can just click one button, which is enable live image, and essentially it just becomes a slightly more engaging image that is live. Again, the goal of this, capture people's attention while they are scrolling, while they are shopping on Amazon. Yeah. So very fast, and then of course, then again, right, the next big challenge is video, right? Even myself creating a video, it's, I think, a bigger creative challenge than I would also expect. If I want to launch a business, how do I actually start creating really pretty videos? I'm worried about the cost, worried about the time it's going to take me, right? So again, right, for many of our newer sellers, I think if you are concerned, you could experiment with AI generated video ads as well, right? Again, it's like at the same place, you want to create a campaign in either sponsored brands or sponsored display video. Yeah, you want to select a product, right, and you add the video. So you can choose a AI generated video coming up, right? And there are different videos that are generated for you. So you can even then customize the video, right? So you want to edit the video, you can customize, the font, the music, the headlines, or the features that you want to essentially call out in the products. And essentially the template is already approved, right, for any video ads for Amazon. So essentially this is what it's going to look like mid-scroll on the mobile app. So this is one of the biggest kind of announcements that we announced, and it's in beta. The last time I checked, it is still not available in Singapore, but then you can expect it to launch in either the next month or the next couple of months for sure. So currently now it's live in the US, but definitely they will roll it out across the world like in the next few months. Yep. So yeah, so again, like for some of our advertisers, right? Once it's really highly encourage you to try it, and also just a sneak peek in terms of 2025, what we are going to focus on, right? So one key thing about AI is that you need to be able to write the prompt, right? Like I want to create a kitchen setting where my cup is showcasing some smoke against behind the kitchen setting, right, or behind an espresso machine, just as an example. So you as the advertiser will be the one writing the prompt, so you're just discussing the type of setting that you want your product to be featured in. But Amazon also knows that how do I write a prompt, right? So you can expect Amazon to start providing some guided prompts, high performing guided prompts coming up when the feature launches, right? And we will be providing some of the guided generation. And of course, I think now one of the bigger, kind of features of our image generator is, of course, the product has to be there, but there are some advertisers that want to focus more on the lifestyle aspect of it, might not want the product to even appear. That's going to be a feature that's going to launch. Amazon will also try to expand, so we will suggest to you, right, already pre-built 8 pre-generated images for you so that you can try and select, right? So when you launch sponsored brands product collection, for example, you can upload up to 5 images, for example. So the first picture can showcase your product, but then maybe the next 4 pictures you want to showcase how to use it, right? Maybe, for example, if I'm selling a color pencil set, then of course the first image might be my color pencils and someone coloring with it. But then with my second, third, fourth, fifth, I can show different scenarios where I can use the color pencil, right? It could be a travel-friendly color pencil pen. It can be suited for school. It can be suited for adults that want to, just do it in their downtime. Just an example. So you can actually create more. So, and of course, I think the next few product feature updates will definitely be kind of fixing defects, replace or remove objects, add new elements again to improve the image quality of our image that are generated for you. So these are some of the things you can expect for it to come next as well. Yeah. So that's actually it. These are some of the very strong kind of product features that we've announced in the major events. And I hope that some of our sellers can try for again the features that are coming up. When it goes live, just check in time and again on your ads console and just play around with the ads, right? Try it on your posts. It's free. And then, if interested, you can try it on your sponsored brands or sponsored display video as well. Yeah, so thank you everyone. So I'll just check to see if there are any questions in the meantime.